intentions and distractions. Septimus, do you want to start?
Yeah, let's go. The first time starting. Wow, intentions for this call, like I think that's where we are going to review the agreements, right? So I would love to see them and share some feedback. Sam, also give it to me. No distractions. I'll pass it to Levi.
Intentions for this call is, I think, just understand how to slightly wrap up the things that we have now for not having a call next week, and then understanding like how to jump back in the flow. And distractions, I feel like I have so many distractions right now, but I'm also focused. I'll pass to Santi.
Hello. Intentions would be to see how we're gonna face the onboarding of the hatchers once we have everything ready for them to start jumping in. If we have a chance to talk about that today. And distractions, now that Jess has taken away those glasses, I don't think I have any distractions. And I will pass it to Jake.
Hi, everybody. Intentions. Yeah, just see how everybody else is doing. I've had like no success with reaching out to people, but hope others have. And then distractions. This beautiful place that I call home is a pretty big distraction. Other than that, I'm good. I'm going to pass it to Tam.
You're muted, Tam.
You're muted.
That's so embarrassing. So my intentions are to check in with everyone, to see how I can support onboarding, to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And my distractions are 0. I have no distractions. And Livia, I passed to you.
I went already, but I'll pass to just the bot. Hello, welcome.
Intentions, I guess, is to get a bit more of a feel of the onboarding process. Pretty new here. Distractions, I guess it's 3 a.m. where I am, so probably time.
Can I have your name, just about?
Jaden. Pleasure to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you, Jack. Welcome to the onboarding call. Is this your first call?
It's my first onboarding call. I went to one of the intro calls, but other than that, first one.
All right. If you have any doubt at any moment, just say it. We are here. So,
Also, sorry, Eduardo, just want to clarify something. That this is not an onboarding call for like to explain everything that we've been doing, but this is the onboarding working group. So in this working group, we're focusing on onboarding stakeholders and contributors, but more like the strategy and the process of this. So I'm happy to jump on a call with you. I mean, you're more than welcome to stay here, and also we can chat later, and I can give you more information about how to get integrated into the community.
Thanks. Yeah, I was reading something about your hatches. I'm kind of just a fly on the wall at this point. I'm just trying to soak it in. I don't really have any expectations from this. I'm just curious about, I guess, how you're planning on getting hatches involved. I'm just curious about the whole thing. I've never really been a part of a decentralized community like this. So I'm just pretty fascinated all around, to be honest.
Perfect. Then welcome. Yeah, you can reach Livia or me if you have any doubt after this call or anything that you didn't understand and so on. Tonga, welcome. What are your instructions and intentions for this call?
Thank you. I just saw that you were here, and I'm waiting for Paulo actually to make a video. But until he comes, I came to the call, and no really intentions, and maybe distractions that I will leave at some point. But don't worry, I'm fine.
Perfect. My intentions and distraction for these calls. My intention is to basically summarize what we have done this week, and then to check on the proposals that we were committed to reach out, and then, as Livy mentioned, to define a bit of what will be the next steps for the next weeks, with holidays in between. So, and instructions right now, none. So we will jump into it right away. So we will do a round of updates regarding the proposals sheet. So I'm gonna look for. I always forget what this.
Curate.
Do you have the document? This Excel that we always have where the names on it. I always forget the name of it. Do you remember the name just to open it?
I can find it here.
It's called Curate.
Yeah.
That's it will come.
There you go. So I will share my screen so we can see the document again.
I didn't go actually. My distraction is I'm gonna run away for 2 minutes because I've been on calls for 3 hours. So I'm gonna just back to there.
Perfect. Sorry, Jessica. I completely forgot. Can everyone see the screen?
Yeah, we see it.
Hello, Griff.
Yeah, we see it.
Perfect. I want to start with Jake. I'm curious that you mentioned that you fail at reaching out people. Can you develop?
Well, I've had no luck with Badger DAO. Nothing. Not a zip. Not for a lack of trying, but I've badgered the Badgers, but I've gotten no response. Nothing. So that's a big swing and a miss right now.
Okay, and how do you reach them out?
Oh, well, Twitter, but the best I could. All their DMs are closed, but I actually got on their forum, just like ours, and then I could DM Chris specifically, and nothing. And I've chatted on some of their other ones to try to talk to other guys, and I've literally gotten nothing. So
I'll be honest, I don't think Badger DAO is trying to do a whole lot of token engineering public goods. So it's
I brought up the CAD, and one guy was just flat out not interested in it at all. He said they're not even, just like Griff just said, they have no intention of that whatsoever. So, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna take down this one for the moment. Shall we? Do you wanna? I don't know, Jake, your agenda, but do you wanna tackle any of these other ones? We can do it together. We have Boston Protocol, we have Conflux, Disco Coop, and so on. Like, do you wanna pick another one, and then we can tackle any of the other ones that are available?
Yeah, Disco's cool.
Disco's
cool. So yeah, Disco's cool. So yeah.
Yes. Blair reached out and said he's really tight with Disco and he was going to set up a call for us in January, Jake, so I'll connect you. I also kind of wanted to chat to them too because I'm just curious to hear what they're doing. So you can like walk them through. I just wanted to like listen and hear more about what they're doing. But if you want to like relationship manage them to like get them to submit and all that, is that cool? I'll connect you with Blair. Blair was gonna help us get in touch.
Perfect.
Yeah, I would love to.
Sorry.
I would love to just learn more about how we can connect too. So maybe if I can also jump in that call.
Perfect. Livy, you had the call with it says here with Angela on December 21. Did you have the call?
Just did.
I'm sorry, are you talking about token engineering, T Academy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
I haven't updated the sheet since then. She will submit in January. Basically, she just said, they have so much going on. She's just going to sit over the holidays and figure out what it is she wants to ask the community for. So she will submit, and we'll check back in January. And then I also am adding another one. I had a call with Sherman, actually about something else. Token Kitchen. She's gonna be submitting in January. Also, I'm adding it to the sheet. I'm using this time to update. Let's see, Token Kitchen. Sherman.
Second question: does anyone here has contact or like often contact with Ruben? So if someone here talks to him often enough that can just has feedback on him on Prime DAO, does anyone talk to him?
I can talk to him. So what? So we want. Oh, I get confused
Sorry.
about what type of proposal Timed Out could submit, but maybe I'll just talk to him.
Yeah, just to update the sheet in case there is something to follow up. Okay, fair enough. Does anyone besides Jake wants to pick another one? I mean, right now it's about timing to pick a proposal to reach out. My suggestion is that since we will have a call after the 30, the ideal scenario for me will be that we will reach people or have people reached for the next onboarding working group call. That would be the ideal scenario, because we already have at least 3-4 that will be submitted later on. So I think we can actually start targeting the other ones that are on this list. So we can move on with this. We have 3 proposals on right now. Tamara, the people who were proposing from your side. Is there any?
I had two. I had 2 really good conversations with Wesley from TokenLog. It's a smaller project. It's a one-man development team, but a quite interesting project. And he, is actually really good to do. He has some good questions. So both of those meetings we spoke about, I answered his questions, and then we looked at the samples that were up. For one of the questions was one of the questions he had was how much to ask for, and so we sort of looked at the proposals that were up, and I think in the Gov one, there was actually a breakdown of the budget and sort of a per hour for different profiles. So we sort of started to get a good idea. He's traveling from the Dutch Caribbean back to Amsterdam. So he did commit to do it before the end of the year, and he seems really excited about it and happy about it too. So I think we'll get it in before the end of the year. And I'll update it when we do.
2 things, an update and then a question. An update is we actually have 4 now. Jeff yesterday put the Luna Swarm there. And then 2 questions. One for Livia. Did you get a chance to reach back out to Alex with Spirit Foundation?
Yeah, we were trying to schedule a call today, but we have a conflict in time. So but we're talking. Yeah.
Cool. And then the other thing was I could use help maybe for the presenting. I guess, yeah, we don't, if for January 8th would when we would start the elevator pitches again. So I guess I could ask Sean maybe to do his Django framework pitch on January 8th. And then I asked Token Kitchen and Sherman to present sometime in January. Maybe we could, because Sean has his Django proposal. Maybe we can ask him, or Luna Swarm can present. But I guess we can have our backups. Maybe like we have Jeff and Sean who could just like jump in and be flexible because they are around anyway. But I guess we just can work that around the other projects.
Yeah. Perfect. Welcome, Dan. Does anyone, Griff, do you have any other proposal do you want to add to this list, or that we can reach out before the end of the year? Just out of
Well, someone can definitely reach out to me for Common Simulator and just make me write the proposal. The proposal for Garden Swarm will be up. We just finished the one for One Hive and it's being reviewed, or at least the Google Doc is finished, but now the dev team is adding a few other deliverables that they checked off. So we will repurpose that for one of these. As far as like to add, you know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I feel like we really need to reach out to Angela and Sherman and just ask them, you know, for these other projects. Like, yeah. And then,
what do you mean? Ask them to introduce other projects?
I feel like a lot of these people who we talk to, they probably also know other token engineering projects that could use funding. So maybe we have this list, but when you go talk to them and you're helping them fill out their thing, just also ask them, what other projects are you looking at, you know, that are cool, that are doing token engineering stuff?
Sure, great idea. Maybe we can all do that. I'll do that on the next calls with them when we get their proposals, like you said. Good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Griff. All right. So that's on the end of the proposals. I don't know if anyone else here in this call have any other proposals or have been reached or have reached someone that I would have missed. Just to.
Oh, did you talk? Sorry, Eduardo, cut out. Did you talk to Christoph Peruk?
No, I'm having issues reaching out Jonas because he's the one who has these contacts. So I'm waiting for him basically to reply.
Oh, I
we have other people that have links. Oh, Christoph?
Can you hear me? I was just mentioning I'm in contact with Jonas. I can speak to him today as well. He's working at Boson, so we already spoke about Boson and Hydra, actually.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be good.
Cool.
Thank you, Dan.
We have other links as well to Christoph. Actually, Griff, who knows Christoph the best? Is it you? Yeah. Who's the best? Like, who has the best relationship?
Jeff, probably. I mean, I think he likes me. I could reach out if we're stuck. We've had chats before.
It's just like a date kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We will. I mean, if we manage to get these few ones before the end of the year, we will. Hopefully and optimistically reach the 10 proposals. So it wouldn't be that bad to reach that goal. So that will be quite good. Moving forward.
If you know what, because I was hoping to reach out to Chris as a hatcher, so I could just kind of do 2 for 1 and get him to be a proposer as well, and we could just talk about it that way. So I can take on Chris.
Okay, thank you. Give me a moment. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda for today is having a discussion about the forum Jess and I, along Livia, we have been working on the forum, on the welcome to the DEC. I don't know if you can see it. I will share my screen again for a moment. It's just to show you a bit of the updates that we have, of the things that we have done. I don't know how the forum looks for you. If you access, this is how it looks for me. So basically, I need to reorganize the orders, so it will be in a specific order. Right now, so basically, we have visible these ones, the glossary of terms about this category, what is the DEC, become a hatcher, submit a proposal for funding, and how to join and contribute. If you go through it, you will see that there is different, for example, in the glossary of terms, it's basically terms that it will be nice that you're aware of them to get into the DEC. If you go to the about, it's just a brief explanation of all the other topics and how when we meet and our channels and stuff. If you go how to join and contribute, this is quite a long text that was created by Jessica, but it's a very helpful one because it basically explains through a very easy way how it works and how you can be part of different groups and so on. Then you have the submit proposal one, and this will be updated with the proposals that have been submitted so far. And you also have this one, for example, tools and resources still needs to be filled. I will do it today, and so on. So basically, what I would like for everyone is to take a look to the forum. And if you see there is something that we are missing on the welcome to the DEC, it will be more than helpful for us to have feedback on it. Mainly because we want this welcome to the DEC section to be sort of understandable for everyone. So if someone from us doesn't understand something or thinks something is missing, that means someone from outside will also notice that that piece of information will be missed. So maybe not now, but if you can all take a look to it and read it through and see if everything makes sense for you, that will be amazing. I don't know, Libby, do you think there is something missing on the documentation? Because we were thinking about closing the GitHub section, the GitHub issue dedicated to the documentation one.
Yeah, I think we can close that issue. I would just change the order a little bit. It doesn't seem so intuitive. So maybe like how to join and contribute could be first, and then tools and resource, and then maybe what is the TC, then become a hatcher, like some type of a journey. And then the glossary could be like in the bottom, like just in case people have questions, they will see that it's there. And yeah, I can also change it, and then if you guys like it, we can leave it, and then if not, we can continue changing it.
Yeah, I was waiting for finishing tools and resources to organize it in a proper order, so we didn't have to reorganize it after I finished tools and resources. Yeah, you're more than welcome to edit it, and then we can work from there on. So that is in that section.
Eduardo, can you remind me what's going in tools and resources again?
Tools and resources is where basically like a pool of the things that, for example, links to how to be part of the trusted seed, or like links to, like, it's just a pool of information like white papers that launched the TEC and so on. It's like just small links, for me at least, small links of information that it's ordered a general place to have
I was just thinking we hold off on that till the become a hatcher thing, because the trusted seed doesn't really have a context in this flow yet. So I was thinking maybe we wait on that, but I just don't know what else would go in there.
Yeah, for me the tools and resources is a place where you have the rest of the questions that are not answered on the other topics answered. Basically a place where it happens to me that I had to ask I had to like go through a bunch of links to understand what was the last updated version of something, like the manifesto and so on. So for me, the tools and resources is like, oh, I want to know about this. This is the latest link about it. It's just to have a centralized version of things. Yes, Livy, sorry.
So for all of the working groups, but it's mostly the resources the most important resources now, they are all linked in how to join and contribute. Each one of them are linking to the working group post with all the resources from each working group. And maybe we could, like, as you're talking, maybe we could change this tools and resources for an FAQ, and then have the questions, and each one of them has the links to answer those questions.
I like that. Yeah.
You mean like a
I like that.
like a freaking ask question? Yeah, that's what you meant, Livy?
Yeah, frequent ask questions. Yeah, frequent ask questions.
Okay, perfect.
And I forgot to ask one thing about the proposals. Did you get a hold of Badger DAO? And I was gonna say too, like, if everybody, I put forum proposal link, but also this could be like this little section where people just write like a little status for where everything's at until the proposal link comes. Sorry, I had to go back. There's just one note.
Well, I said earlier, no, I had no luck. Complete failure.
I don't know if they will answer because they've launched now, so I'm sure they're so heads down.
One of the guys pretty much told me they're not interested in CAD at all. So.
Perfect. So yeah, that would be the forum section. Thank you so much, Jessica, for filling the pages. Anyways, the next topic I want to talk about is the manifesto. We talked about this with Ham regarding how in need of an update the manifesto is. I don't know if you guys have the manifesto at hand. I will share my screen again. So this is the actual manifesto, and like it, for example, let's say something in the failure section. For me, it's very clear, for example, now what a failure could be for the onboarding working group. Like if we just do not get enough hatchers, or we do not get enough proposals, like we viewed, like there is a lot of possibilities for a failure in the onboarding working group, at least from my perspective. So these small things that we can have actually an update on it, because I don't think it has been updated properly. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And some other sections, for example, the goals are a little bit like generic. They are not very specific, and they are not. For me, I would rather have goals and objective, with objectives set on a timeline that are easy to understand, rather than having just generic goals. So these kind of things needs to be updated. The other steps, and also to incorporate, I think, and Tamara, you can correct me if I'm wrong, to have this sync with the GitHub and issues and stuff, so we have actually a manifesto that it's up to date with what's going on the GitHub section, so people can actually, if I send this manifesto to someone and someone wants to help, they can go directly to what are the issues that are open, and what are the things or the sections that are open for them to get to work, if they want to get to work in something. I don't know, guys, what do you think about it?
I'll jump in quickly. I think updating the manifestos is probably something each of the working groups can take a look at. I don't know how large of a or how small of a update they need to have. I don't know that it's a document that should be updated often. Maybe I could see there being a link to the Zen Hub filtered by the label for the working group. So, which is really a permanent link that'll never change. Could be a good idea, but I don't think of it as a document that's often updated. Wouldn't be updated frequently. Not every sprint or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's good to provide more focus and identify, like you said, kind of the KPIs. We have pretty clear numbers and put those, and then also the aspect of any contributor should be able to look at it and jump in, and yeah, that being like the goal for all of the manifestos. So I think that sounds good.
Has any of you guys updated the manifestos from your working groups recently? Just out of curiosity.
It's very much on my to-do list. I've been needing to split the Garden Swarm and TE params forever. So.
Do you fancy a 1 hour session so we can just in silent work?
That would be so fun. I'd be so down for that. Eduardo, I think Tamara mentioned that you have time this during the break. I would love to kick off the Hatchers onboarding as well.
Yeah. Just pick an agenda. Just pick a date in your agenda. Just tell me the date and time, and I will be there.
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect.
So yeah, Eduardo, is it okay if we go to the Become a Hatchers discussion next? Because I kind of feel like that's the most important. And I don't know, Santi, do you want to share this post that we've been working on?
Sure, but I need you guys. I need you, Jessica, to share your screen from me. I'm having issues with sharing my screen here. Thank you.
Can you guys see? Sure.
All right. Okay, basically what we are describing here, and after some reviews from Jessica, Griff, and maybe someone else, we will finally post it. We will give a detailed explanation of the process to become a hatcher and why are we suggesting the community to vote for this process. Why did we arrive to these suggestions? And basically is the two-step that everyone will have to go through. One is become a member of the trusted seed, filling in the form, the type form that is on the Common Stack webpage. And after becoming a member of the trusted seed, you will be able to jump into the application that we're going to put together to become a member of the Common Stack Association, a Swiss association that will be providing a legal shield to every individual who will become a hatcher. So that's going to be a request for everyone intending to join as a hatcher in the hatching process. So basically, we describe in this document this process, and I am not sure, and this is something I want to post here now that Griff is also here, if we should wait until we have the DApp up and running. I don't know if we want to post this in the forum before having everything ready, so everyone can click on the links and take a look, even if they don't. I think we shouldn't.
I think we should, because
we should.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, hey, we should get their.
Their opinion, the voting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to stop us from launching it because the Common Stack is on its own timeline. But I think I put in there. I edited that doc a lot this morning and last night. I fell asleep with it, actually. You and I were cuddling in bed together. Anyway, but it was fun, and it's a really nice doc. I think we should push it. want to finish the last section, editing the last sections today, and yeah, I'll let you review my randomness and then post. I think we should post it.
All right. Okay. Then
Yeah.
that's. Go ahead, Jess.
Oh, sorry, Griff. I was just gonna say I saw your edits. Santi sent to me. I edited it. That sent to you. I have to now. I saw you did a lot, so I was gonna do one more review, and then I was gonna pass to Jeff. I kind of thought it'd be good to get just a glance of like just the hypercritical perception look at it and make sure it looks okay. I just was a little hesitant about any of the language that was saying we will have this upgrade and bonding curve because that could be a liability. So I like that you said like if the community decides or whatever. So anyway, without getting in the weeds, yes, I don't think there's like a rush. So is tomorrow morning okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to be done editing it today, and then
Yeah,
you
me
guys
too.
take it
But
where
yeah,
you go.
I would by tomorrow morning try to have all the edits in, and then post and leave up for the vote till January 8th. So I agree. I don't think we need to wait for the DAP or anything. Just maybe sorry, one section, the questions Angela was asking, that maybe is important, a line or two. I'll put it in there. I just thought of it now.
I literally stopped right at that moment, and I was like, oh, I need a link to the statutes. And then, well, life happened. Oh my God, other browser windows. And I stopped. So, but there will be, I think the link to the statutes is all she needs. Well, at least for a lot of her questions.
Yeah, so if we put that in here too, that will be helpful. So I think if everybody, maybe not everybody has context here, basically we're gonna post this. This is the recommendation from the legal working group, and then the community vote goes till the 8th, and then hopefully everybody says yes, and then the DAP will be released. And then basically I guess what we need to talk about is, so once the DAP is released, and if the community votes yes, what is next for the onboarding?
That's a good question. What would be the ideal scenario in this case, Griff?
I mean, once the DAP, it's just like the proposal. I'm not a. It's cool if we try to do the mass, like, oh hey, anyone can onboard themselves. But in general, like the real people, the real token engineers that we're going to target, we just need to schedule an hour call with them, and it's going to take a lot of time, but we schedule an hour call, answer all their questions while they fill out the trusted seed application form, if that's the step they're on, or if they're on the going to the membership DAP. We walk them through the process to the point where they get stuck, and then we reschedule another call, and we just grab one person at a time and hold their hand through the.
I'm just going to say with that, like, I do appreciate the need for one-on-one, but I guess here is the main thing. Like, what is the flow between when the DAP is ready? Like, do we want people to participate in the test hatch app at all, or how many people do we want to participate in the test hatch app, the new one? And then I feel like there needs to be like a flow or a campaign, because one-on-one is great, but like we're going to need certain materials before we start a big onboarding become a hatcher push. I feel like for me, I would feel more comfortable to have like a week or two to prepare some more onboarding materials, because this is like,
I guess from my perspective, those onboarding materials will be so much better informed if you've onboarded and then you're like, oh man, I've onboarded 3 people, they all asked these same 4 questions, and then it's like, okay.
And then like, where are we tracking this? Like for me, are we going to do it in another spreadsheet, or will we have the CRM by then? And like, I guess I'm just a little worried about too much energy going into the manual and spending a little more energy up front to create a more automated process. and then going one by one if people aren't engaging. I feel like that's maybe with the limited resources. I see both sides, but like I think for me, I don't feel like there's anything happening on like having an organized campaign with like a more automated process, which I think would be more efficient. So I don't just like, how do we want to approach this? Because it is like a huge thing.
I think it depends on target audience. You know, if we want people, normal people who are just kind of casually have time and be autonomously engaged, then the automated process works great. Zargum will not go through the automated process. Chris Peruk probably won't. Sherman won't. You know, Shebnem will. Angela will. Cyprian will. You know, some of them will. You know, it's probably about like who we want to target. Luke might. You know, there's some big guys that would go through.
But yeah, I'm more so talking about like, are you talking about the Test Hatch app that you want their feedback? No, you're talking about for the full shebang. So in that case, like, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about like the 300, 400 trusted seed members to be having like, you know, newsletter campaigns and like the materials available, like what is a hatch that I'm going to work on with like Jeff and Marco, and having this like visuals on it. Now that we can start to explain how to become a hatcher, like the legal post is the very first step, but I feel like we still need a piece, like a comms piece. Once people vote, maybe once the vote happens, announcing the vote, and then, okay, what is the hatch? How is it going to go down? Step, like the hatch DAO is step one, and then the second part. And I guess this is a bit of a comms discussion, but also just having some organization around how are we going to track this, at least to start, I guess. That way, if some manual stuff starts, then we at least know and that can have visibility into like who's been contacted, so we don't contact multiple, or like kind of like how the curate is. But ideally, we have the CRM. I don't think it's going to be ready yet. So I guess we'll start it in a spreadsheet. We have the one already with like the members list, or do we just focus on manually those like core advisors that we want to engage with, and then we can develop the content and the like however we're going to do it for engaging with them, all of the people.
Can I start an FAQ document now that we can put? You can't hear me? Oh, okay. If we start an FAQ document right now, we could write like for each person that someone is connecting with, what were their questions? For example, Jess, you talked to Angela, she had a bunch of questions. And then Tim talked to, forgot his name, but he also had a bunch of questions. And if we start to put their questions off the individual onboardings we're having, we're going to have like a super rich FAQ that is addressing many of the target audiences we have. And then from there, we could put up a guide together with the how to become a hatcher.
Do you mean like a document that has both things integrated on it? Like, so people, when they become a hatcher, they can have all these questions already. Like, that's common question that we have had from. Okay, that makes sense for me.
So I guess having a spreadsheet again, but is it going to be private information that's only like for stewards and permissioned, or is it going to be like open, this tracking? So we need the spreadsheet with the who's contacted and their questions and the answers.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a spreadsheet. It can be a document, so we have more space to write down. But a document that is part of this working group, and it's public and it's connected to each one that is reaching out to different people. So I'll have my session to the people that I reached out to, and everyone has their own sessions. And ideally, we would like the people that already talked to someone would fill this out today. So these questions are still fresh because I don't think we documented them anywhere.
I'm not saying for the FAQs to have a spreadsheet. I'm saying to track who everyone is contacting so we don't contact the same people multiple times.
So we have that tracked in the spreadsheet we're using already.
That's more like for projects, but this is for like onboarding individual hatchers.
You have the other page is not for, because you have 2 pages in this Excel. The other one says individuals, and you have all the individuals there. Am I wrong?
So yes, but I'm asking, can we use that for like tracking hatchers? Is that okay that that's open?
I mean, for me, it makes more sense.
Grift
Like I wouldn't have documents all over the place with different informations. I would like to have everything in a single place. It shouldn't be public, but I will keep this information, like, because for me, proposals and hatchers goes has hands to hand. So it will be nice to have these informations next to each other rather than having separate documents.
So yeah, I was thinking like tracking, okay, who's talking to who. And I mean, ideally, yeah, the CRM, but it's fine. Just like talk to them. Put an X if they're planning to participate in the hatch, and then questions. And then next to the questions, we put the answer, and then we can turn that into like a piece that's like public on the forum, whether it's a document or it's like a forum post that keeps growing. But I guess my main concern is like for the overall like process and plan, and maybe that's more a comms discussion. Like it sounds like we have this manual approach because we're already talking to like the key advisors, just noting that we talk to them and any questions and FAQ, and then we start to develop those content pieces, and then we have like more of the outbound push that's like, you know, before the hatch we have these content pieces, and we send a newsletter and engage with like the whole 400, I don't know, people that are on Trusted Seed. And maybe we have some other process that's like onboarding people who may be in the community that never applied to the Trusted Seed. So we'll have a few different like funnels.
Yeah, I think in my ideal scenario, I don't think we would be ready for that, but in my ideal scenario, the onboarding process should be the same way, like an integrated page within the website, like the one that Common Stack has for getting into the Trusted Seed. Just a very simple, it's like if I may click on this, goes to this, like just simple words, not anything programming complicated kind of stuff. But for me, this is like, rather than having any other platform, I will just use the website with just a page for that will link you to how to become a hatcher and a link for proposals. In my ideal scenario, that will be the case.
I guess we probably need like a whole working session right when we come back to like lay this all out and revisit the journey and how we're going to implement that.
I would say that I know you're taking a break, but this is my week to go start reaching out. Like that's just like my schedule. It's like, oh my god, look at all these calls that aren't on my schedule anymore. I got to fill that up. So I'm going to fill it up. It's going to
regarding that, you need help with any of these calls, not help of course in the sense of follow up in the sense of these people, like, because I don't know how you're approaching these calls, but just like if you have any of these calls that needs to be passed through, like for example, you make the brief and so on, but the person needs more time to do the proposal, to do the hatcher or whatever, like if you need help with that, just reach out so we can like follow up.
Yeah, I was hoping this next week that we could have like maybe you come on some calls with me and we practice, you know, with some. I'd be like, yeah, this is Edu. He's helping with onboarding, you know, and Tam could come on some with me, and we can just start you know, make it up as we go along. If some people want to see the hatch, if it feels like that's, oh yeah, let me show you how this works, then we can do that, because the hatch DAO is up, by the way. Just happened this morning.
It is
Yeah.
up.
Hatch.tcommons.org just came up this morning. It's a little buggy, but it works ish. So hopefully they'll fix it in the next couple of days. But then we just go through some calls and we and we get people going.
Can you resend me the link that you just mentioned?
It's just hatch.tecommons.
So yeah, I'm not saying by any means wait or anything. I'm just saying, like, going through this process, if you can just track the things and then log the questions, and then that way we can create content from that. And then also I do just like feel this like wanting to be organized and like a little more structured when we do the bigger outbound push, and making sure that like the resources and materials are there, because we can't onboard 400 people manually. But like also a lot of people we've talked to so far, the feedback has been, oh great, I want to participate, now what? And then there's like nothing for them to do. So I also don't want to engage like too early and then they wait like 2 months, so I don't feel like there's a rush. Like I do feel the urgency in that it's exciting, but I don't feel like a rush. Like besides that, you have time this week to contact like these main like head honcho TE people, who a lot of them are also taking a break, like even Angela and like Sherman, whatever. But I don't feel like we need to go too big, I guess, until I just want to feel like organized and like a little more process oriented when we do the big push. But the little push is like going to be great, like you said, for discovery, and like Livia said, like getting this questions answered will help to guide and what we are producing.
I just want to share quick this doc just to make sure we are all in the same page. So, oops, here. So just something very simple, like write the project person you were onboarding and the questions they had during the onboarding, either to submit a proposal or to participate in the hatch. And then we can have all the questions here. So every person that onboarded someone can add different bullet points here in the project they are onboarding and the questions. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Makes sense.
Yeah, we should make that link very accessible. Maybe put in the curate spreadsheet.
Question.
Yeah, good idea.
Sorry.
Just I mean, like working with Chris on the CRM for Stack. Basically, many of the things that we will do there, like they can apply to TEC. We just had to decide, like, are we actually just using Hotspot as well for TEC? So if we just right now use a spreadsheet, which is cool, we can just create a kind of like a drop-down menu on a status column with different points, like, okay, first outreach, second outreach. I don't know, like it's kind of like a sales pipeline, just more human. So just understanding the status and who made the contact at that moment. And the only thing is like having just one column for notes. All the notes are gonna get jumbled, like they're gonna be messy. Just so after if we had a notes column, maybe you can just put the moment in the process that happened. So we can at least like we had a small process like first outreach. Let's say like what content should people, whoever is doing the outreach, should put out in front of the person that's being being contacted. So understanding what is part of the process, because this is something that we can do in Hotspot at some point with relationship managers, et cetera, et cetera. That will be super helpful for migration at some point. But I don't know. I can put together a short drop-down list, something like that, like a mini proposal steps is, yeah, from a sales perspective, but more human.
There's one critical question that I really hope everyone has the goal to ask, which is soft commitment. You know, like how much do you think you're going to contribute to the TEC? And that's not something that we should post publicly in any spreadsheets or something, but maybe whoever we ask, we tell that to Edu and he collects it, because it's very, very critical that we have some sort of estimate of how much funds we are able to raise. And because if it's not enough, then we need to change our strategies.
Great.
The other thing, again, because it's fine. I mean, technically, I guess the only piece of content there is for them to look at now will be this legal forum post and explaining like why this decision or recommendation, and technically there's a vote. But yeah, I think Dan, yeah, if you have recommendations for like how we should set up that like tracking so that it's easy when we do get the CRM that we can import it or something. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I mean, like, I don't know if we can import like a spreadsheet into Hotspot that informs this flow like a pipeline, but at least we can, tag like the steps in the process, so we can manually put that together at some point. So we had more automation at that time. And in Hotspot, yes, just like in any pipeline, you can input at least a number, a percentage, or something like that could be related to what Griff is mentioning. So yeah, or we can create tags. But anyway, I it's great inputs here, so I can have this conversation with Chris as well. Is anyone, like any particular from the DC that will be in charge of the CRM that we can have this ongoing conversation with?
Well, Durgadas does this for a living, but he obviously won't be the one to the access will be like steward access, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like Craig has kind of put himself in the position of the herder of cats.
I forgot to ask Craig, are you okay to like be the CRM guy?
The short answer is sure, and the long answer is what CRM? No, I'm only kidding. I do know what it means, but like, right, I don't have any experience, but I'm sure, I'm a fast learner, and yeah, I'm in. It's like Griff said, I've been sort of doing this sort of one-on-one reach out since the beginning. So yeah, I'm entrenched for the most part. So maybe I'll coordinate with Dan, and we've already talked some as well, Dan. So we can keep talking and loop me into that.
Okay.
And if you want to do like a one-on-one, Durgadas can give you like a tutorial, like crash session, and maybe I'll join and just listen. I just don't have the bandwidth to like own the CRM, I guess, was the main concern.
Yep, that's great. I'm in.
One last question, changing the topic. Where is the due line for the legal voting forum post? Does it has a deadline, or do we need to like
ish tomorrow?
No, like until when the votes will be cast?
We said January 7th, the community call meeting on January 7th. All the votes by the top of the meeting.
Okay, it's someone taking care that the people are voting, because we're in holiday season, so people won't be a lot of time probably in Discord and so on. Like, I think someone should like take care that people is actually engaging on that post, since it's so relevant. Just putting out there.
If you and Tamara could, sorry, Libby.
No, usually we've been having a set time for voting, and I guess I don't know if it's okay to just like change that rule without really asking to change that rule, but I would say that we can have this vote like open for a long time, and then in the Thursday call we promote this voting, and we collect the results on Monday. So we have that full week to grab people's attention, and then Monday is the final decision.
Agreed.
Okay, so you're saying then the meeting on 7 and to do the results, do over the weekend and have the results 11.
All right. We are in due time. So it's 7 p.m. here. So I want to thank everyone for being this call. I don't know if we have missed out something. So anyways, thank you so much for being here. For the ones that I won't see again until next year, have a nice year. And I hope you have a nice time. I hope to see you soon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, everyone.